Eternal Father, with blessings, abundance of grace, we thank you for sanctioning this occasion. We thank you for the compassion that you have, that you look down and give us the power to fight these disparities within our midst. Grant us the opportunity that we may be a force to be reckoned with as we have resources such as this to aid us in these last and evil days. Bless the celebrants, the least to the greatest. Most of all, bless your servant, Brother Jeff, for having the compassion to be his brother's keeper. In Christ's name we say, amen and amen.
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 So I'll be your MC for the day. My name is Shoshiwa Shields with Associated Builders and Contractors. I want to first welcome Mr. Jeff Davis,
Yes.
owner proprietor of Youth and Adult Center.
Great. Thanks for coming out, everyone. Welcome to Youth and Adult Center. Youth and Adult Center is a faith-based organization. We have been here for a little over 3 years. Our focus is on the journeys that many people have, especially African Americans, in the job and the work world. Our major concern also includes housing, fair housing, good jobs, and the ability to care for their children. We've partnered with Shoshiwa, which is with ABC Construction, to bring that opportunity back into the community, because she also knows the disparities. They've come in from Elk Grove Village to share some of the resources with Alicia and her crew, to come all the way over here to Chicago Heights to bring it in. We are grateful that they have shared this opportunity, and we pray that all of our young men in the program will take advantage of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
And next, I would like to present Alicia Martin, the president of Associated Builders and Contractors.
all right.
Hey, everybody. Well, thank you guys for being here today, and thank you, Jeff, for partnering with ABC, and thank you guys for choosing us to be part of your journey as you enter the construction industry. Associated Builders and Contractors is a statewide construction trade association. We have an office in Elk Grove Village, and we have one in Springfield, Illinois. We have 3 arms of our organization: our membership side, our legislative side, but then our education and training side, which is what you're partaking in. And a few years ago, we applied for a grant from the Department of Commerce when, 1, our members were experiencing a shortage of skilled workers, and 2, there was a lot of crime in the city of Chicago and the South Sides, and we thought, what can we do? We know that we also have a social responsibility. We're an organization made up of employers. So, hence Community Builders and Shoshiwa Shields and Suzette, and we received the grant, and now we're able to bring training into the communities where there's been little hope and opportunity, and that's what we're hoping to provide for you, and hoping to provide you that pathway into the industry that historically has kind of been shut, the door's been shut. So welcome, good luck, thanks for choosing ABC. We're all here today to support you on this journey.
Thank you.
And at the end game, there's going to be employment. So thank you.
All right.
Now, I want to take this moment, if I can have Adonis as well as Suzette please come up and join me. The construction training program that you see here today, it starts off with CORE, which is the introduction to the construction industry, and then we'll go to carpentry level 1. Mr. Adonis will be the instructor for both. Then we're going to have an employability day. Mr. Jeff Davis will offer that. That's where they'll get financial literacy, resume building, mock interviews. And then after that, they're going to get OSHA training, OSHA 10 training from another instructor who's not here today. Suzette, who's next to me by my side, she is going to be helping me run this program. In regards to all the bags that you see here from the students, I would like them to take a moment to open it up. Okay, all right, so let's see what you got. So we got hard hats, PPE, we got tool bags, we got chalk lines, safety vests, square, screwdriver, wrench, measuring tape, safety vest, gloves, swap files. So just to recap and just to reintroduce myself, as I mentioned earlier, I'm the Workforce Development Director, but I started off as a carpenter. So one of the things that I tell my students all the time is that every man has their own tools coming out in the field, and this is to help them get started. At some point in the next week or two, they're going to get their construction boots. In the carpentry class, that's where they're going to be building a mock house. They're going to learn how to shoot grade, how to build walls, how to set the floor, windows, trusses, stairs. So when you come back, you'll be able to see a final product. And at this point now, I want to bring the Mayor Williams from Englewood. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. I just want to congratulate you and tell you, which most people don't know, since I'm nowadays known as the mayor of Englewood, but actually I'm a tradesman also. I'm a sheet metal worker, retired sheet metal worker, who actually taught the apprentice program for Local 73 and at high schools and stuff like that. So what I wanted to do was just take this opportunity to congratulate you and let you know that all you gotta do is get this right, and other doors open and you don't even know why. Well, I'll tell you why. It's because you're good at what you're doing. So get to be very good at this, because there'll be other levels of it, and it opens up other doors. Some people ask, well, how do you get to be to this next level? Somebody on the that's watching the level you are recommends you. Say, this kid over here is pretty good. I got this new thing for him. Let's do it. That's how I ended up ultimately mayor's spot. But my foundation is what you're working on right now. I'm very proud of the fact that you'll know it too, that I can make, fix, build, do anything. And that part you can take with you, so the whole world falls apart. You'll know that you can fix it again. So I just want to say congratulations to you, and take it serious and do it well.
All right, man.
And I would like to have the members who have helped make this facility and program possible, if we can have, young man, if you could please come join us, as well as Mike Umovich and Calvin Williams.
All right.
Hello, I'm Mike Uremovich. I got to meet all of you earlier. As I said, and kind of echoing what everybody else has said, this is a great foundation for you to get started, great career opportunities. I've been in construction my whole life. I'm just a high school graduate. I built a very successful company just by learning how to work with my hands and work with my head. So you make it through this program, the doors that are going to open to you are endless. So good luck to you, and hopefully I'll be hiring you in 10 weeks when we get done with the program.
All right.
Hi, Eric Harris. I'm with the administration with the Parole Division for the Department of Corrections. Ms. Shashiwa had reached out to the Parole Division, it was about 3-4 weeks ago, and expressed to us the opportunities they had for our offenders that were on parole. As we know, when you're on parole, it's very difficult to find employment, good employment. And oftentimes when individuals first come out onto parole, they have the best of intentions, but when they struggle, they start sliding off back to what they were doing before. So it's very important for us in parole to get everybody to stay on the right track. We invited Ms. Shashiwa to one of our office staff meetings. She made a presentation to our parole staff, who then reached out to offenders that were on their caseload. So again, we're very appreciative of the opportunity they're affording us to help our offenders successfully reintegrate back into society.
All right.
I kind of gave my spiel earlier, but again, I want to say welcome to the program. I look forward to seeing what you guys are gonna do with your talents once you leave here. And I know he said some of you guys are offenders. I want to encourage you not to allow your past to be your future. You can change what has happened in your life by simply grasping hold of opportunities that are going to help you to change the things that will happen in your life. Sometimes circumstances dictate what happens in our past, but it doesn't always have to dictate what happens in our future. You have the ability, you have the power to learn something that will take you further. And a lot of guys like Mike Yerimovich have started their own business. They've taken their talents, not just their ability to work with their hand, but their ability to gain new work and to hire people and give them second and sometimes third chances, you know, and that's what life is about. So don't allow your past to define your future, because if you do, it's just gonna hold you in your past and you're never gonna grow. So welcome to the program. I look forward to coming back here in 10 weeks and seeing you guys. And then that's just the beginning of your career. What you're gonna learn here is what we call Construction 101. You're gonna get all the basics. You got every tool that you need, including your mind, to take yourself to the next level. So when we come back here in 10 weeks watching you guys graduate, it's not just Mike Yerimovich, but myself and other contractors will be here to look for an opportunity to bring you guys on board. And attitude and effort is everything, right? So take advantage of this opportunity, and thanks again for being here. Yes, sir. All right.
Okay, I think we have one more guest speaker. Bernard, please come on.
Hi, my name is Bernard Key. I'm part of the National Society of Black Engineers and the Black Data Process Associates. And for the past 2 decades, I've been doing STEM programs in our community and within the Chicago Public Schools. Matter of fact, I was doing this even before they even called it STEM. And so I met Mr. Davis, and I told him, like, if we want our kids to grow up to be fine young adults like these men here, we're going to have to grab them young. And so what I decided to do was to bring in our professional organizations like NASB, BDPA, and come in the community with engineers, IT professionals, and go out to the communities like Harvey and Markham and work with businesses like Mind Over Matters with Mr. Dwayne Lanier, and to bring those enrichment programs. As well as I'm a teacher at Rich Township. And everybody don't know this, but we have an outstanding robotic program. Our kids went to nationals and worlds. They are in the top 4% of the robotic teams throughout the world. If you think about how many robotics like in Hong Kong, Singapore, Italy, if you think about all the places where youth are doing robotics, Denmark, Scotland, the UK, and our kids in our community is on the top 4%. So my thing is that we could definitely take our young students from our inter-cities and our communities like Harvey, Markham, Dixmoor, Chicago Heights, Fort Heights, bring them here where it's Christian based. They're going to be exposed to black men in a positive setting, and we're going to feed them that knowledge that they thought that they'd never ever get. And so with that, thank you.
All right.
One thing, with Bernard also came a gentleman by the name of David Wilson, who has come aboard to bring in invention. So Dave has partnered with us because we're trying to bring in new businesses into the community. The technology that he's bringing will affect every youth from a base standpoint all the way to adulthood. So if we can embrace him for 1 minute on this program that he has, that he's bringing in.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
My company is SE System. We developed the ability to create mobile portable power. That's in essence a backpack that has solar capabilities that allow you to charge your cell phones or any other handheld device. So if there's a disaster, if you're hiking or you're camping, you always have access to power. My company is in talks with insurance companies because during hurricanes, the electronic grid goes down, the electric grid goes down, and they want to be able to hand this to all their customers, and so that they can stay in contact with them during the time of their calamity. And so we look at partnering up with companies like that, as well as providing this to schools across the country, and as a base, as Chicago Heights, to have a place to create a manufacturing sector, because our manufacturing sector in this country has not been what it should be over the last 20 to 30 years. But I'm here to say that this is fully patented so that we can actually build and house a product like this that can actually provide relief for the people of these communities, because of the things that has happened over the time. Opportunities are not here as they used to be. So I'm here to be a partner with Jeff and the community of Chicago Heights. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And if I can say to bring more things, one of the programs that I'm bringing is innovation. Like if you're familiar with the business incubators downtown, like 1871, Blue 1647, these are businesses and community spots where innovators and businesses can come and collaborate and find solutions. We don't have that in the south suburbs. So what I'm doing with David is taking my students, and we actually developing some prototype computer that's going to integrate with his backpack. And so bringing stuff like that will definitely put us on the map. And this is my concept of building everything from nothing.
All right, all right. I also wanted to let you know about Bernard and David, that they're running a program downstairs. So we're going to be doing a tour, a quick tour. They have some tables set up here, and then there's some children downstairs. Yes. What are their ages?
They actually are part of the Minor What Matters Daycare Center. Okay. One of my students, two of my students have been doing a paid internship, teaching his students Lego robotics. So, and that's what we're also doing too. The kids that's in our program, we give them paid internships to teach younger students, as well as that money is staying in our community.
And how old are the kids?
And the kids downstairs are from kindergarten to like third grade. 11 years old. Yep, and some more coming from middle school to high school as well. Wonderful. So not only we serve those kindergarten preschoolers, high schoolers too.
Okay, wonderful. And how long is your program?
Oh, wow. I don't know.
Okay. Until they're done. Okay, all right. So we're going to break out. If you guys want to grab something to drink before we go downstairs, Mr. Jeff Davis is going to lead the tour.
Great. Youth and Adult Center opened this establishment in 2015 of April, I'm sorry. The bank was donated to us by Citizens Bank. The programs that we had that were going on in construction, they were kind of happy with what we were doing, and they said, we're going to give you the opportunity. So we were awarded this facility to bring new programs and other opportunities for the youth in the community. The building was underwater, had a lot of mold remediation to it, and we just pretty much stripped everything out and started making it a classroom, tech area, and now we're bringing the community in to start getting involved. So come on, let's go. As you can see, we've done a lot of work. The building was underwater. So we tore out all the walls and everything, and we actually taught some veterans. So UPS came in and they became to be a partner with us, and we just got down to the whole nitty-gritty of things. So this became our all-purpose room where we train, have functions. We deal with a lot of youth, our carpentry, we have ministry. We just do everything in our all-purpose room. Some of the footage on the screens is showing what the accomplishment that it has come from. This is after it started drying out. And then it's just got a slew of footage of the construction. We can go on this other side now. This is Yak's snack and chat room. This is where we brainstorm. This is where you eat together and share ideas, kind of like like one of those coffee shops. So we let the kids get together and dream. Let their imaginations take off. And we put them in a setting where their Wi-Fi is just like they're just out there among the rest of the professions. So this is our room for a number of things, just having fun. Over here is where we put in a kitchen, and this was designed in a training for some veterans and some people in the community where they were learning how to install cabinets. Now they went a little bit overboard on the stain, but I think they got the concept of the whole thing. So we put in this kitchen that would help service here, and we also was working on a program to feed the youth in the community.
Yes.
So we have a space that is warm in our heart, and we try to position the children to have a place where they can all congregate. This area here is our banquet room. A lot of work went into this project. Actually, my family came in to help me put this floor down. This is called a floating floor. It's like a big puzzle. And then we've had some other people come in and learn how to install these type of floors in construction. We thought that this place would be real good for the families to come in and congregate, bring the communities in, just having a warm atmosphere and just having a bunch of fun like the kids back here are doing. So it's like a shared environment with a spiritual vibe to it. How about that? Thanks. And this is where the work takes place for construction. Now, my buddy here, I gotta make sure I get my extra light in it. But this has been the right hand to this part of the program. And let me say this, if I can say no more. I met Shashiwa over a couple of years ago now.
Yes.
And a bad situation became a good situation.
True.
And the blessings that she's brought out to where the Chicago Heights has been unmeasurable to this degree. Our programs that we have in the community give certificates. Well, as we already know, with giving certificates, that is not the solution. It's just a piece of paper. In the partnering with her, and then having the mere fact of knowing that the people will be placed, it changed everything. Mm-hmm. When that changed everything, my conversation changed. Because I was able to embrace a common vision. So I pushed my program back because it wasn't doing what she did. We were just having to keep the numbers. African American kids here are dying daily. We are over the news. The census is saying over 4 million kids or 4 million people of color are unaccounted for. So for 2020, they have to do a new census. In that new census, they have to find where all these people are. In the interim, we are on the news daily, hourly, and by minute. The number of things that are going on are not being reported. But as a whole, this community is devastated. So when Shoshua was talking about the program, we sat and we brainstormed. And really the brainstorming was a lot of her, because that's just who she is. But I've had other friends, such as Denise, who ran for alderman, Suzette, Bernard, my father, my brother back there, and a great new friend right here. All of these people right here are the reason why I'm right here today. Because even though we own a whole block, without any of you, there's nothing that we can do. And in that, I'm going to end that. How about it?
Wonderful. And if I can just say something, this is where the hands-on construction training portion, what happened. We have enough room to make a mock house. And what I would like to do is have you guys come back and be able to see the success and outcome of the program.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I think it's fantastic. From the first time of him opening up and us coming over here, it was an aha moment for us because we just thought it was just a charter bank. But as we started walking through and getting in, the vision became real and real and real. This is a wonderful program for the Southland and Chicago Heights.
Yes, I am quite impressed with the whole program because I have a basement that I need finishing. And by me being an IT guy, I am horrible with house improvement projects, so my wife refused to let me hold the hammer. So I'm definitely looking forward to working with these brothers.
Good morning. I'm Dwayne Lanier, owner of Minds Over Matter Child Care Center. I was introduced to Mr. Davis through Mr. Keys. Mr. Keys has been a grand component in our STEM program. He allowed our children from the age of 6 years all the way up to 12 years of age to start learning how to code. And they aren't realizing the education that they're getting because of the fun activities and the way that Mr. Keys has presented this program to them. They are very excited and looking forward to doing more and bigger things with Mr. Keys. And thank you, Mr. Davis, for allowing us to have a location in order that we can expound our children's minds, theories, and future.
My name is Byron Crenshaw. I'm the Dean of Students at a grammar school on the west side of Chicago, and I'm just trying to hold myself and contain myself in that I really never thought I could see a facility with such potential as this for this surrounding area. It is just going to be amazing what things could be accomplished.
My name is Alicia Martin, President of Associated Builders and Contractors, and I want to say thank you to Jeff Davies and the Youth Adult Center for partnering with us and allowing us the opportunity to bring our Community Builders program to this community. We're working hard to get it in other areas in the Southland, but we recognize the need and hope to bring opportunity and hope to the individuals that are participating in this program, and most importantly, employment.
Hi, my name is Michelle Banks. I was invited by Chief Apostle William McCoy, and he's been an activist in the Chicago Heights community for quite some time. And he said, Michelle, I have something for you to see. Just be here. He didn't even tell me what it was. So when he calls, I jump in my car and I get here. This was such a wonderful surprise because I started out as a consumer, you know, as most of us have, buying a house to live in. And I didn't know that it was such a deep hole to invest in. And I turned that around and I said, well, I don't want to just keep on investing in my own home. How can I expand my horizons? But I had difficulties finding the types of tradespeople that I really wanted to work in my home. And I mean, people from my community at that time was on the west side. So when I found it very difficult, I started asking questions, and then I jumped into business myself. I started flipping homes and still looking for apprentices to be a part of it, and I couldn't find them, at least not from our community. So now that I've heard about your program, I'm so excited because I'm going to tell a lot of my other partners and associates that this is what we need. And we need more training facilities like this. So we'd like to emulate what you're doing. It's just, I don't know if we can do it as good as you'd have, but it is something that's going to change the whole dynamics of what our youth is going through. And youth is up to like 30 years old too.
Yeah.
And then to deal with ex-offenders, this is the portal that they can take without somebody saying, no, you can't do this, you're not qualified, or you have to take a drop or a test, a urine test to see if there have been any drugs in their system. So this is truly an answer, economically, physically, spiritually, that we need more of. Congratulations.
He's how I got into the business. He's a contractor. He used to work for a chemical company. He worked for a number of companies. But what he did, now this is crazy. By the time I was 11 years old, my dad told me, I got you your first license. I said, she got me my first license. I'm an athlete at the time, and I'm like, okay. So he comes in, he said, this is what you're gonna do. So I said, I'm getting ready to go play some ball. So my very first license that my dad got for me at 11 or 12 years old was a carpenter's license. But I had no idea that what he was doing was placing a stamp in my life. Along with that, it came in the areas of electrical work, plumbing, so I grew up in the trades. The benefit of those trades were every man in the trade took me along. They never left me along the side. My mother would always say, well, if you stay at home, you got to do what we do. So I would run out the door to catch up with them. But in this journey, I've learned how to be a man. I've had some stumbles along the way. But at the end of the day, he is part of the reason of why my background and where those hard hats are, because each one of those hats right there is a representation of him. So what you see here is the fundamentals of what he already knows. So I'm just graced by my father. And I don't want you to talk long because we are not going to church right now.
I'm long with it. But you know what I love so much about my son is that he loves people. And he loves them so much. In other words, I wish I could explain and express it, but all kids, he don't see the bad in no kid, and he want to pick them up right where they are and teach them something. He'll take them off the street or whatever they need. And I love that really about him, is because the care that he has for people, you know, and that's I'm not expressing it in a sense like I want to say it. And then I love he and the way he and his wife get along. That's one of the major things I love. Because when a man loves his wife and love his kids and have a great spiritual morals, I'm trying to put it in.
You putting
it? Man, he sat down with his kids and teach them right from wrong from the Word of God. And I love that. I love that in him. And there's so much that I could say that would really, it just bubbles me over to have a kid like this, you know. Always there, and believe it or not, teach me a lot of things. Honest to God. And his wife is so caring and loving. He told me, I'm alone when you talk about it, especially. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Okay, that's all.
Oh, wow, wait a minute. This is one that you must get. This is former mayor of Harvey, David Johnson. This man has been such a great part of my life.
I'm sorry.
In a short period of time. This is for you. And what he's done is we've collaborated in areas for entrepreneurs, people bringing or learning about new businesses. So as soon as we met, I just felt a kindred spirit, and he's kind of like taking me under. He says, Jeff, whatever you need. I say, whatever I need, huh? So I'm going to be calling you, right? And that's what I do. I call him, and I ask him for direction in the areas I should go and what we're doing. And what he does is he shares the knowledge of how we can do what we need to do and the best way to get there. His background as a politician is one thing, but his background for the love of people is a whole nother area. So let me turn this over to you.
Thank you, Jeff, for those kind and generous words. I walked in as Jeff's father was speaking, and I'm saying to myself, well, that's certainly the Jeff that I know. And when I first met him, I could feel his intensity, his love for his work and for his people. And as we all know, yesterday was Father's Day. And got a nice number of texts, but there was one that struck me, and they talked about how I give. And it stems from my father. And my father was a Chicago Transit bus driver. And he played music at night. I've got 9 brothers and sisters. And mother never worked outside the home. But my father was gone a lot of time during the day. But the men in my neighborhood stepped up. And they knew I was a Johnson. They didn't necessarily know my first name. But they told me, listen, I know your mom, I know your dad, straighten up. But then later they would come to me and say, why don't you think about doing this or that or the other? They provided me with opportunities. So all I'm trying to do in this phase of my life is pay it forward. Return the blessings that the community has given me. Everything that I have comes from a community. It comes from a collective spirit that existed in our community. And I'm a product of that. And I believe that I'm supposed to build on that. So when I encountered Jeff, I said, this is perfect. I can help here. And so next week, I'm meeting with Tony Preckwinkle. We've submitted a proposal for a business incubator on this site in conjunction with YAC. And so I'm asking that you pray for us and put it on our heart to be generous and share in the Cook County budget with the people in this area, this community. This man is a tremendous vehicle for our people. And it's been a couple of weeks since I've been here. And when I walked around, I can clearly see the improvements and the betterment of this facility. So there's no doubt in my mind that if we work together, there's nothing we can't do. We can achieve a lot for this community with the leadership of Joe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I can't close it out without my wife. Well, this is my wife, my kid brother back there. But listen, she is, she puts up with me in the evening hours. How about that? And she lets me be away to try to make a way.
So I'm going to say, though, I'm grateful and thankful for everyone that has come out today, showed their support to my husband. This has been his vision for over 30 years. And I will say, yes, his dad has been an instrumental light in his life to put the light in him to burn so that it can bring improvement to our community, because as most of us know that there is a deficit. And so I'm just grateful and thankful for everyone that showed up, showed out, and showed their support for Youth and Adult Center. So I just want to say thank you from me, from the bottom of my heart, to support my husband and his vision. So, and I just thank you, and I'm proud of you.
May I say one thing? Sometimes I got to talk a little. But my son told me once,
What'd you tell you, Dad?
you know, I hired a blind man. He was an electrician. He told me an electrician. And he needed a job. I hired him. And I said to him, when you get up on that ladder, how are you going to tell which wire is which wire, you know?
And what What'd you do?
He said, when I jacked my hand back. I said, well, that makes sense. I said, we're going up there and get the work.
That's good. We're gonna close it out.
You know, I'm saying one thing and close it out. Close it. So I let him try to put the wire note on there, and I was glad he put it on there. And so, but here's what made me have to change his profession is when we walked out to get in the van for me to take him home, there was a no parking sign sitting there. And as we was walking out, he was showing me that he could walk by himself. And when I saw him walk straight into that pole, hit his head on that pole like that, and knocked him all back like that, I said, brother, we're gonna try plumbing next time.